What's up? Another day, another dollar. Here we back at it again on the video. So today is that big day. I'm sitting in the Toyota. I was supposed to do it like 2 hours ago, but I had a couple things that popped up. It's a little bad day today. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday was a lot better than today is. It's a little bit cloudy, but I was thinking about doing it tomorrow because tomorrow supposed to be like 8 degrees, a lot warmer, and it's supposed to be the sun supposed to be out. But I was like, no what? Let me just knock out the best I can today, do whatever I have to do, and then hopefully everything will be working good. And tomorrow I could probably look at some couple things and do whatever. But this is the video. This is something before I got the car, and I should show you guys before I start working on everything. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit actually what really happened. So pretty much on the eclipse right here. So if you, the new subscribers, I'll show you guys in a little bit. You guys will see, but this is it right here. But pretty much. So if you guys remember when I was trying to deal with the problems with the axle problems, if you guys remember a couple video ago, it was like last year around after when I got this car back on the road, the Toyota. So I was having a problem. First thing I found out, I did it off camera. But all those problems that was happening, the passenger side axle broke. It actually, the inside of the axle stripped the splines and actually stripped, and then it got stuck. But the shaft part, it was fine, but it was just the axle got most of the damage. Thank God Mitsubishi made the I forgot what the I forgot what the shaft is called, but it's like a shaft that goes from the differential to the axle. I forgot the name, but good thing they made that out of steel, because if that was made out of aluminum, like new cars, that would have been destroyed too. But at least the coupling part is aluminum. That's why I think, but the shaft part is steel. But pretty much, yeah, that was on that passenger side. But this what happened on the driver's side, off camera too as well. So it was one time I put the axle in and I was testing out a couple things. I forgot the video about the end part, but all I remember was the time I put the axle in, I was trying to go and test drive it. The car did not want to move. Meanwhile, I had it up on the jack stands, the wheels are moving. The car didn't want to move. I thought I had a brick in front of the tire. So I was too lazy to get out the car and remove the brick. So I'm like, okay, let me just go and drive over the brick. But it wasn't no brick in front of the car. What happened was the wheel bearing completely crapped out. It was completely crapped out. It was just, not completely, because the wheel would have been falling off. But the bearing part is just destroyed. It still rotates, but the whole entire time, this is probably like a rookie move of me. I'm thinking it's I'm moving a wheel, because that's usually a lot of people do. You do the wheel bearing, you do the side, left and right, up and down, and stuff like that. So I did that. Everything worked out pretty good. So I'm like, okay, it's not no wheel bearing. I'm moving the wheel. Meanwhile, I didn't drive the car for a while, so the rims are rusty. I'm gonna show you guys too. So if you guys can see, let me just open up the door. I don't know, it's bad quality a little bit, but you guys can take my word for it. You guys will see it very soon. But pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And then I rotated the wheels, and then and pretty much I heard the noise that sounded like a bearing, but I thought it was the brakes, because the rotors are rusty, because I didn't drive the car right now. Sitting is probably like 4 or 5 months. So I didn't drive the car for like 5 months. So all the rain and stuff like that got the rotors rusty. But only thing is, I didn't really have the time to really work on it and take a look at it on the side, because it was kind of cold and I was still working on the Toyota. So after when I was done on the passenger side, after when the axle broke, when I thought it was something in front of the wheel. Yeah, after when that broke, then I kind of was just like, I'll just do this later, because it was already dark and it was like September at that time. I think it was September. So it was getting cold, and I was not trying to do it anytime soon. And this car was running pretty fine, so I was like, it's a project car regardless. I thought it was a differential the whole entire time because I broke the differential on this car, on the Toyota. So I thought it was a differential. So the whole entire time me thinking about it. So pretty much, long story short of this story, my bad, it was very long. But long story short, what I broke is the wheel bearing is locking up at one point. After when it locks, it can't move nowhere. So after when I forced it to move, I broke the axle. So that is what we have going on. So right now, let's go and get this video started. I'm going to take off the wheel and get everything properly stepped, so you would see me right in front of the car with the wheel off and everything kind of like set up. Again, this is not no how-to video. This is kind of like a vlog kind of thing, but pretty much, yeah. I hope I do the best I can, but I'll show you guys the process and stuff like that. But let's get it started. Okay, I kind of started a little bit early, but I got the axle out. I didn't get the wheel bearing out, but I want to show you guys the wheel bearing first. I don't know if you can hear it on camera. Yeah, but it don't feel too bad, honestly, but I do hear it. So, but I still change it out regardless. I still got a new one. But the axle, that's dripping, but it's fine. This car ain't going nowhere. But axle wise, I know you really can't. I know axle wise, you can't really know. You really can't tell too much on the outside of it, and of course the internals is a lot more important than the outside. But looking on the outside in, it kind of feels fine. But yeah, kind of feels fine. So I'm not 100% sure, but I just hope and pray that it's these parts. So worst case scenario, if it don't work, then it will be the differential. But yeah, so I'm just gonna stay positive, to be honest. Stay positive. But so far, I don't know what it is binding up. So it can be the axle, because I did break it. And yeah, it was just really on that driver's side. So I know I probably broke something. So yeah, I think it was probably the axle the full time, honestly. I think it was the last legs. Because to be honest, when I was driving with this axle, this thing was popping every time I was making left turns. So it was definitely, that's one thing. It will be the axle. Even though outside wise, it don't look too bad. But then again, I'm not an axle rebuilder. So I wouldn't know, honestly. But I did broke an axle that, you know, when it's completely broken. I did break that one time. Alright. So now I guess I'm gonna take off the wheel bearing. This is, I'm gonna show you guys here. This is the reason why I live in New York. This is the reason why you need to put high temperature grease on your bearings, but not but in the flange of the whole entire knuckle. Watch, we had just had all this snow. Fail. But look at this. That's the reason why you need to put high temperature grease. Because the amount of, I'm gonna show you guys too. If this wasn't no high temperature grease, this would have been rusty. It would have been solid on there. This thing would not be coming off at all. I'm gonna show you guys. So you look at my bad, my camera's like not the best condition. All right, so you see all that dirt? Yeah, all of that. So that's the reason why I do recommend putting high temperature grease. And I'm gonna clean this all up. I have some brake clean because this is all grimy. I need to clean all of this. But I'm not gonna record cleaning because this. But this is the bearing. Again, it's not bad though. I guess, where's the new bearing? You always want to compare with the old and new. So, this is the new wheel bearing. Okay. Old, new. So it's like, oh, this is way tighter. Way tighter. Like, comparison to the two is like way. This is a night and day difference. This is like, look. And I want to see how many rotations I can just spin by one. And I'm gonna compare the new and old. So I'm gonna do it just like this. And you guys are gonna see. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Just one little with one finger. So it's not like this, like almost 180. So now we're gonna do the new wheel bearing. Do the same thing. Start from the bottom. Hopefully, I'm trying not to drop it, but yeah, that was one attempt right here. I'll do it again. The finger slipped a little bit. All right, so like this. I'm trying to hold it. 3, 2, 1. Way better. Way better. Okay. So this is the old container, by the way, very old. But they do still sell this on Amazon. I saw it the other day. But it's really just you can type up STP, high temperature grease, on Amazon. So that's the high temperature grease that I use. And you don't need a lot, but you just want to rub on like a good, like not a good amount, but like a decent amount, I guess. Not too much though. My feeling usually I have to feel the texture of the metal. If I don't feel it, that means I put too much. Okay. So that is good. And the one thing I do recommend while putting wheel bearings in put 2 of them in, one on the top, and I'm gonna show you guys. And we putting wheel bearings on. I recommend do it like this. So you only need 2 in for right now, because only reason why I say this, if you put this wheel bearing on like everybody else do, and they just push it on like that, the holes needs to be aligned properly. So when you're trying to put these the bolts back in, it's not going to try to go in. So you have to at least put it up closely to here, hand tighten the screws. You're going to see me doing that. And after you hand tighten at least 2 of the screws in there, then after that you can just push it in, like push it in there, or you could just tighten up the bolts and it would just press it in itself. One or the other, whatever you want to do, but I'm gonna just try to push it in with my hand first. Well, yeah, that's honestly, it's not that hard. The time you put the high temperature grease, it's not that hard. I'll show you guys. Ouch. So, boom, like this, and hand tighten. All right, so I got one in hand tighten. Okay, and I got the other tighten. So now all you do is push. And you get the electric wrench before you tighten up the rest of the 2. And good thing I checked. I have it on wrong. I put it on upside down. See, that's what I mean by high temperature grease. It's just put it on nice and perfect. More on the back side. Okay, now you take your impact wrench, not your impact, and you tighten them all up in a crisscross pattern. Make sure your electric wrench is tightening, not loosening. Setting 2. Alright, so now Now we just rotate the wheel. Feels good. Feels good. So this is what you guys are gonna help me out with. I'm gonna go inside the car, put it in first gear, go on the other side and push the wheel, and let me know if this thing spins. Okay. It's in first gear. Well, it didn't move, but oh well. We just put everything back together. Let's go and see. Okay, so now let's go and get these rotors on. I'm not gonna lie, I really do hope this works, but I'm don't want to edit too long, so let me just try to get the rotors on and the brakes on and stuff like that, and I'll catch you guys when we about to start the vehicle, because that's really we're pretty much done. So all I have to do is put everything back on. So until I start the vehicle, so it's test day. You want to see? Catch you guys in a little bit. Ooh, okay, I'm back. I had a situation that popped up, and I had to. One of my friends got a flat tire, so I had to go over there and help him out because he didn't have a jack. So, but I'm home and flip the camera on. Show you guys what I did so far. Oh, let me clean up the camera for you guys. Okay, this is the best I can do for right now. But I got everything, the wheel back on, everything is good. So the only thing is I had to do is just start it and just put those jumper cables onto this battery and go from there. So wish me luck, wish me luck. Before I started, this is my thoughts of what I think will be. To be honest, I think it's too good to be true. I think the axle is broken. The axle was broken, don't get me wrong. But the wheel bearing was bad too as well, but it just don't add up. But I can't say too much because I didn't start it yet. So let's go and see if it works. One thing I want to do is, okay, so that test did not work. So I put it, I don't even know if it's even in gear. Yeah, it is in gear, but so far it didn't move. So I think it's a little bit more extra damage. That's what I think. I think it should be, I think it's some extra damage. But at the end of the day, we just take it one day at a time and we just figured it out. So at the end of the day, I needed a new axle regardless, whatever it is. And plus, that wheel bearing was bad, so regardless, even if the car was on the road or not, that wheel bearing needs to be replaced and that axle. So that's a good thing. Other than that, then that's gonna get it started. I'm gonna prop up my phone and everything else like that, and then hopefully, and then start it up, and hopefully everything runs. So hopefully everything works out great. the passenger side is moving. Even regardless, even if I probably might test out one thing too. And this wheel is not moving. But sometimes it's weird. This is open differential things, I guess. That's the only thing I can assume is. But what I probably might do is just put the wheel back on without the brakes, and then see if it'll move with it. Like see if the driver's side will move. Because if that's the case, then I know it's something with the brakes system is locking it up. So since I have all the brake system off, see if both of them move. I guess there's a little bit of diagnostics. Because then after that, the last step it is, if it's still doing it, honestly, the passenger side do move. So that means the axles and stuff like that are good. Since the driver's side is not moving, that means there's something else broken. Something is broken in our transmission, because the transmission is facing the driver's side. So that's usually, it will pull a lot more harder on the driver's side than the passenger side, because that's where it is. Open differential. So it's looking like, and so far it's looking like it's something deeper that I kind of thought that it was going to be, to be honest. But some people told me it was like the wheel bearing, but that's why I was like, oh, the wheel bearing, the axle. But sometimes, but the axle was broken. The axle was broken, to be honest. The axle was broken. But that wheel bearing is pretty good. So well, let me finish up and I'll give you my thoughts in a little bit. This proves that the wheel is moving. So I want to show you guys the wheel is moving. Can you see it? Phone just froze. But yeah, you see how the wheel is moving? And then now we go on the other side. And then the wheel is not moving. And then we'll just do a little kick. Okay, so this is like a couple hours later. So I'm at this park right now, but I was just figuring out everything, kind of thinking about everything about the eclipse and stuff like that. And I think I probably found out what is the problem. Definitely the differential broke, but but everybody who knows a little bit more transmissions more than me, put in the comments below and kind of like what you guys think about what is the problem. But all I know is just like they always have a spot, like, you know, in the differential they have a spider gear that's coming on this one, and then they have a spider gear that comes on this one, and then the axles goes into, then that's when the axle go into the splines. But after that, in the differential they have the spider gears. So I was thinking about maybe one of the spider gears broke off, but just on the driver's side, because these are the problems. The problems is like, it was like clicking every time I was like making a left turn, and then I always thought it was the axle, so I just changed the axle, and it got better, but it was just kept on, it was still the same thing. And then but even just now, it's just like before off camera, I put it in gear, and then after that the car actually wanted to move forward a little bit, like it was trying to, but after a certain point then it's like slipped, and then that's when it went back down. So next video is going to be a transmission rebuild series, so that's gonna go crazy. So yeah, that's the next video we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be dropping that transmission, and then just trying to dig up and then try to see what broke, because it should be something simple, And if I can just dig into it and then just find the part, and then after when I find the part, then all I have to do is just look up and get another new part and put it on. Put everything back together. Or LSD. Or I just put an LSD in it. That's another one too. But I'm definitely want to put the LSD in it. But I'm definitely curious about what actually broke first. Because to be honest, I probably will still do the LSD. But I just want to see what broke first. Yeah. But I just want to tell you guys about that. Yeah. But other than that, have a nice night and catch you guys in the next one.